It was exactly 3:17 a.m. when I heard the first knock. Not loud, not aggressive, just slow, deliberate. Knock, knock, knock. I remember checking my phone right away. 3:17 a.m. That detail stuck with me, because nothing good ever happens at 3 in the morning. At first I thought maybe I imagined it. I had just woken up randomly, like your body sometimes does in the middle of the night for no reason. My apartment was completely silent. Too silent. I live alone in a small apartment in Columbus, Ohio, on the second floor of an older building. It's not a bad area, but it's not the kind of place where people casually knock on doors at 3 a.m. either. I sat up in bed, holding my breath, just listening. That's when I heard it again. Knock, knock, knock. Same rhythm, same spacing, like whoever was outside knew exactly what they were doing. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. My heart was already beating faster than it should have been. I didn't say anything at first, I just sat there staring at my bedroom door, waiting. Another 10 seconds passed, then knock, knock, knock. This time, slightly louder. "Hello?" I called out. No response. I got out of bed slowly, every step feeling heavier than normal. The hallway outside my bedroom was dark. The only light was coming from my phone. As I got closer to the front door, I noticed something strange. There was no movement, no shadow under the door, nothing, but someone was definitely there. I stood about 3 feet away from the door. "Who is it?" I asked. Silence. Then, slowly, knock, knock, knock. Right after I spoke. Like it was responding to me, but not with words. That's when the fear really started creeping in. This didn't feel normal. Not drunk neighbor, not someone at the wrong apartment. Something about the timing, the silence. It felt intentional. I moved closer to the door and leaned in slightly. "Do you need help?" I asked. Still nothing. Just silence. And then, knock, 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 exactly the same again. At this point, I was debating whether I should call the police, but then I thought, what would I even say? "Hi, yeah, someone is knocking on my door weirdly." It sounded stupid in my head. I slowly reached for the peephole, and I don't know why, but my hand was shaking. I looked through it. At first, I thought no one was there. The hallway light outside was dim, but I could clearly see the empty space in front of my door. No one. I blinked, looked again, still no one. And then, I heard it, right next to the door. Knock, knock, knock. Louder than before. I jumped back immediately, because there was no one there. I had just checked. That's when I realized, whoever, or whatever, was knocking, was not standing in front of the door. My chest tightened. I stepped back slowly. My brain was trying to make sense of it. Maybe they were standing to the side, out of view? Yeah, that had to be it, right? I leaned back into the peephole again. This time, I looked more carefully, and that's when I saw it. A shadow, not in front of the door, but to the far left side, like someone was pressed up against the wall, trying not to be seen. I froze. Why would anyone do that? Why knock, and then hide? Before I could react, the knocking changed. Knock, 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 faster, more aggressive. "Stop!" I yelled. Silence. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. I backed away again. This time, I locked the door, even though it was already locked. I checked it twice. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. At 3:23 a.m. I stared at it for a second. Then, I answered. "Hello?" There was breathing on the other end. Slow. Heavy. "Who is this?" I asked. No response. Just breathing. And then, a whisper. So quiet I almost didn't hear it. "Open the door." I immediately hung up. My hands were shaking now. This wasn't normal. This wasn't a prank. The knocking started again, louder, Faster, almost violent. Bang, bang, bang. I grabbed a kitchen knife. I didn't know what else to do. I just stood there and staring at the door, waiting for it to stop. And then suddenly, it did. Complete silence. Minutes passed. Nothing. No knocks. No calls. Nothing. Eventually, I forced myself to check again. I walked slowly to the door, looked through the peephole. Empty. Completely empty. I waited another minute, then 2, then 5. Still nothing. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I checked the hallway. No signs of anything, no scratches, no footprints, nothing. I told myself it was just some messed up prank, something I could forget. Until 3 nights later, 3:17 a.m., my phone lit up. Unknown number. And before I could even react, I heard it again, from the front door. Knock, knock, knock. Same rhythm, same timing. But this time, I didn't move. I just sat there in bed, staring at the door as the knocking slowly got louder. And then, I heard something that made my blood run cold. My bedroom door creaked open. From the inside, I never saw who or what was outside my apartment that night. But whatever it was, didn't need the door anymore. I moved out a week later, left everything behind, furniture, clothes, everything, and I still wake up sometimes at exactly 3:17 a.m. because even now, every once in a while, I still hear it. Knock, knock, knock.